Thank you. That one's Espana, Cani. That one kind of gets the blood flowing there a little bit to start off our second part there. So great piece. Our next piece is a Longford legend, and this one's actually in 3 movements, so kind of like 3 chapters to a musical book. So we'll ask you to hold the applause to the end. I'll make it easier for you. I will turn pages with my left hand, but as far as my right hand, if that's up, then we don't applause, all right? We'll applause after that. And I do want to recognize this group too. We've got a really cool opportunity in about a year. This group, along with Joliet West High School, on April 15th of 2026, will be performing at Symphony Center in Chicago, the home of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. So we've got about a year to practice for that, so thank you so much. That's where the seniors get really mad at me and they go, why couldn't it be this year? But that'll be in about a year, so those summer rehearsals we're having, super important. But very proud of this group. So we hope you enjoy this next piece, a Longford legend. great job to all of our soloists. I will call out one soloist, and he'll probably be embarrassed by this, but we had, one of our seniors had the special honor of going to state for badminton, and they just found out on like Monday or Tuesday. So Fabian over there had to play this super exposed alto saxophone solo in the second movement with like 3 days notice. So I thought you did a heck of a job there. For the rest of the solos, fantastic. I'd like to call up Mamie Uffleman from the Joliet Township Band Alumni Association, and she's going to do a scholarship presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Good evening. I am Mamie Uffleman Studer, Joliet Central Class of 1995. I'm here to present the Jan Uffleman Scholarship. Jan Uffleman was a mallet player and was a 1962 Joliet Township graduate who lost her battle with myelodysplastic syndrome in February 2018. The scholarship was created during the 2018-2019 school year by my brother and myself in memory of our mom. This year commemorates the 7th year of gifting this scholarship to a senior band member who has consistently demonstrated exceptional levels of service to others and who aspire to uphold the rich traditions of the JTHS band program during all years as a member. These student actions promote and improve the JTHS band music experience for all in the same manner that Jan Uffelman embodied a tradition of service that benefited others ahead of herself. This scholarship has been funded by donations from Mrs. Uffelman's family. The recipient of this award is a very impressive individual that has embodied the active service to help the Central Band program throughout their time as a member. It is my honor and privilege to award this year's Jan Uffelman Scholarship to Brianna Lenoy.
Thank you. And Brianna's also the recipient of, there's another scholarship, the Strike Up the Band Scholarship, that's sponsored by Mr. Tony Contos. So she is also the recipient of that scholarship there as well. So another round of applause. You'll notice some of these kids are not dressed like the others. The senior banquet is actually going on right now as well. So for a lot of our seniors, as soon as they get done with this concert, they're going to skip over the senior banquet. So they're probably begging me to just stop talking right now. So we are going to bring Mr. Peebles on next for a couple of pieces here. Here's Midway March, Mr. Peebles.
I'm very thankful to be here right now. I'm student teaching at a middle school. We had our concert yesterday, and my co-op was gracious enough to let me come here today. I'm sure if you ask any student here to describe me, they would say blunt and transparent. And I've been very thankful and just honored to be working with the Joliet Township High School band. These wonderful students have worked so hard and have been just so wonderful. There are no more. It's hard to think of words to say to thank you guys so much. There aren't a lot of ensembles that can handle being tuned for like 40 minutes, 20 minutes. You know, that long rehearsal. Just sit there, play one note, cool, do it again. Our last piece we played was Midway March. This next piece is Funiculi, Funicula, and I hope you enjoy.
Okay, well, we have come to the end here, but we want to do a couple of thank yous and recognitions first. First and foremost, we'd love to give a round of applause to any of our faculty, staff, and administration out there tonight. We have absolutely the most supportive faculty, staff, administration here, and good music programs do not happen without especially supportive administration. So we are very, very, very thankful for them. And we have our band parent association who make sure the kids always look great here on stage and that they've got water for the football games and are well taken care of. So a round of applause for our band parent association members. And finally, we would like to recognize our seniors. And speaking of Band Parent Association, they supplied some flowers for us, which Mr. Peebles is going to hand out. But I'm going to call each senior's name, and if they wouldn't mind standing up on stage here, we'll just start down there. Just be very, very careful here. So this is our senior band class of 2025. We'll begin with Mariah Crosley White. We have Michaela Arredondo. Next is JT Elder. We have Annalise Goodman. She couldn't be here tonight due to badminton, but let's give her a round of applause. Next, we have Philip Johnson. Brianna Lenore. We have Santiago Martinez. Next is Natalie Medina. And Josephine Moody. Yesenia Palma. Then we have Berta Torres. Did I miss anyone here? As Berta gets up here, we'll recognize them with a big round of applause. We will certainly miss this class. They've worked so hard to make our band sound great, just be a very, very positive role model to all of them. So we will absolutely miss them. Let's give a huge round of applause for them. Thank you so much. We'll have our seats and then we'll perform our last number here, March of the Steel. Thank you so much. We are at the end of our program here, but we really, really appreciate you coming out here and supporting our kids in our great city here. So we hope you all have a great night. Pick your kids up near the Steelmen statue afterwards, all right? Thank you so much.